Do you ever sit down in a chair, then stand up and realize it doesn't feel as easy as it used to? Your legs move a little slower, feel a little heavier, and each step takes an extra moment to steady yourself. After age 60, this can happen very naturally, even if your daily routine hasn't changed much. Weak legs may not cause sharp pain right away, but they can make you more cautious when you walk, worried about slipping, worried about losing your balance. Today's video is not here to tell you to work out harder or push yourself. It's simply a slow, gentle conversation about your legs and about very light movements you can do right from a chair, so your legs can gradually get used to being active again. If, while listening, you recognize yourself somewhere in this story, you're welcome to share a few short lines, so we can see together that this feeling is more common than we think. When your legs don't feel the same. After 60, many people begin to feel that their legs don't respond the way they used to. It's usually not severe pain. It's more like a heavier feeling when you walk, getting tired faster when you stand for a while, and needing to slow down for a moment when you rise from a chair. Some people walk a short distance and feel as if their legs are carrying extra weight. Others notice their knees and calves don't feel as quick or steady as before. These changes can make everyday life feel a little more cautious. What worries many people is not fully understanding what is happening. Some assume they've become much weaker. Others fear that if they move more, they might fall. So they start walking less, sitting more, and asking others to do things they used to do on their own. But the less the legs are used, the more noticeable that heavy, tired feeling becomes. The truth is, the legs are like every other part of the body. When they aren't used often, they become less responsive, slower to react, and easier to tire. That heavy feeling during walking is often a sign that the muscles are no longer used to steady, regular activity. It isn't a frightening warning. It's a gentle reminder that your legs need a little more attention. When we look at it calmly, many people feel their worry soften. Instead of blaming ourselves or feeling anxious, we start paying closer attention to what the legs are telling us. How far feels comfortable today? When fatigue begins? When the legs feel lighter? Simply noticing these things is already a first step toward caring for your legs again. Why legs gradually get weaker with age? Leg weakness after 60 is not surprising. It comes from very natural changes that many of us don't notice at first. When we were younger, we walked more, stood up, and sat down more often, and our leg muscles were used all day long. Over time, life slows down. We sit more, walk less, and the leg muscles gradually get used to doing less. When leg muscles aren't used consistently, they can shrink and weaken. Then, each time you stand up from a chair or take a step, the body has to work harder to stay balanced. This creates that heavy, uncertain feeling. Not because the legs are broken, but because they haven't been fully awakened after a long period of low activity. Also, as we get older, our reflexes tend to slow down. In the past, you could stand up, and your legs would automatically coordinate smoothly. Now, everything needs a little more time. If you stand up too quickly or rush your steps, the legs may not adjust fast enough, and that unsteady feeling shows up. Understanding this helps reduce fear. Weak legs are not the end of walking. They are simply a sign that we may need to adjust how we move. Instead of pushing ourselves to walk a lot right away, we can begin with small, safe movements, so the leg muscles remember their role again. When they are given a steady chance to work, legs often respond better than we expect. You can still move while seated. Many people assume that to strengthen the legs, you must stand, walk, or do exercises that look tiring. That thought alone can make people hesitate, especially if they fear losing balance or falling. But the truth is, your legs can be exercised even while you're sitting in a chair. Sitting is familiar and safe for many people over 60. When you are seated securely, you don't have to worry as much about balance, and that alone can help you feel calmer. From that position, even slow, gentle leg movements can begin to wake up the muscles. What matters is not how impressive the movement looks, but what you feel inside your body as you move. When you move while seated, you also have time to notice how your legs respond. Where you feel tight, where you feel lighter, where you need to slow down. There is no pressure to do it perfectly, and no one to compare you to anyone else. Everyone has a different pace, and the chair is simply a steady support that helps you feel safe. Many people notice that when they start from a seated position, they feel less afraid to move. The legs gradually become used to motion again, and the heavy feeling begins to ease. From that sense of safety, it becomes easier to keep the habit going, and the legs have a chance to be active every day. Stronger legs can make walking feel lighter. When leg muscles are moved regularly, even gently, many people begin to notice small changes in daily life. Walking feels less heavy. Standing up from a chair feels less uncertain. Fatigue comes later than it used to. These changes are not dramatic, but they are enough to make you feel more comfortable. Stronger legs do not mean you must walk fast or walk far. It simply means your legs feel able to support your body during familiar, everyday tasks. When the legs do their job well, the rest of the body doesn't have to tense up as much. You don't have to focus so hard on every single step, and the mind feels lighter too. Many people share that when their legs feel less heavy, they feel more confident going outside. Grocery shopping, taking a short walk, or even just moving around the house becomes easier. That confidence doesn't come from how much exercise they did. It comes from the feeling that their body is working with them again. What's especially meaningful is that these changes often come from very small efforts done consistently each day. There is no need to push past your limits. Simply letting the legs move enough, at your own pace, can create a positive difference over time. Balance begins with small things. One of the biggest concerns after 60 is feeling unsteady when standing or walking. When the legs are weaker, balance can be affected more easily. But balance doesn't only come from standing on one foot or doing something difficult. It begins with steadiness in very simple movements. When you move your legs regularly, the body relearns coordination. The legs, hips, and upper body begin to work together instead of each part working on its own. As a result, when you stand up or take steps, the body responds more smoothly. The swaying feeling becomes less frequent, and you feel safer in your movements. Balance is also connected to attention. When you move slowly and without rushing, the body has time to adjust. This is especially important as we get older. You don't have to hold a pose or force perfect posture. Simply noticing the feeling under your feet and sensing the floor can help your body feel more stable. Little by little, that sense of safety returns. You don't feel as worried each time you stand up or take a few steps. When the legs are cared for in the right way, they help you feel steady again, not only through strength, but through smooth coordination. Leg weakness is very common after 60. It often comes from reduced activity and the body's natural changes with age. When we understand that, we worry less and begin listening to our legs more closely. Gentle movement while seated helps the legs get used to motion again. Staying consistent helps the legs feel less heavy. Paying attention to how you move helps the whole body feel steadier. And most importantly, you allow yourself to slow down without forcing anything. You don't have to do everything at once. Just choose a few gentle movements that feel right for you, and do them regularly each day. Over time, your legs will respond in their own way. I hope that after listening, you feel more at ease about your legs and more relaxed as you take your steps each day. Wishing you steadiness, a slower pace, and quiet peace in each small step of life.